meeting control and give me the thumbs ups. Okay, you can do that as well. But first, confirm you can hear me. Confirm you can hear me. Where are my people? Can you hear me? Brilliant, brilliant. You're welcome to tonight's session. My name is Muhammad Suleiman. Okay, and I'll be your pilot for tonight's session. Are you ready to take off? Are you ready for takeoff? Are we all ready? Are we ready? Give me a thumbs up, guys. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you are ready to go. That you're ready to go. All right, fantastic one, fantastic one. So I'd love to know where you are joining us from. Okay, I'd love to know where you are joining us from. I'm joining from Lagos. So let me know where you're joining from. Are you joining from other parts of Nigeria? Are you joining from um, Ghana? Are you joining in from South Africa? Somewhere um, outside of Africa? Let me know where you are joining in from. Okay, type it in the chat. Where are you joining us from? Okay, I can see my Lagosians in the chat. Let me know where you are joining us from. Let me know where you're joining us from. So Lagos, where are my Abuja people? Okay, where are they? So type it in the chat. Let me know where you are joining us from. So while that is going on, I can see that more people are joining. So we're expecting even more people to join us tonight. All right, we're expecting more people to join us tonight. Okay, and we're going to be discussing a topic very fantastic. So I can see people from Abuja, people from Ebonyi State. You are all welcome. You are all welcome. All right, so in tonight's session, we'll be discussing quite a number of things. You guys are going to be learning stuff. So I want you to pay attention for the next 1 hour plus so that you can, gain some valuable insight. And you'll also be able to ask me questions at the end of the session. Now, as the session is going on, I'll be presenting a slide. It will have so many information, so many links for references in them. If you would want a copy of that slide once it is available. All right. Confirm you can hear me before I share my screen. Confirm you can hear me before I share my screen. Confirm you can hear me before I share my screen. All right, it's fantastic. So sharing my screen anytime now. I'll be sharing my screen anytime now. So once I share my Okay, so once you can see my screen, please type crystal clear in the chat box. Okay, once you can share my screen, please type crystal clear in the chat box. Once you can see my screen, type crystal clear in the chat box so I know for sure that you can actually see my screen now. Type crystal clear in the chat box so I know that you can actually see my screen now. Fantastic, crystal clear, brilliant. All right. So tonight is the night for clarity. You're going to get clarity on, tech career paths to go for, why to go for them, why should you even consider tech in the first place, some of the tips and tricks you need to know to be able to succeed should you choose to transition into tech, and so many more. Of course, like I said, you'll be able to ask me questions at the end of the session. So while the session is going on, if you have any question, just write it down somewhere so you can ask me the question at the end of the session. Like I said, my name is Mohammed Suleiman. I'm the Chief Operating Officer here at Naviance Analytics. I've been able to rack up a number of years of experience. And in my experience, I've been opportunity to work with top firms like Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo is one of Italy's largest luxury car brand. I worked with them remotely from Lagos. Okay, and what I did was to help them switch their Power BI dashboard to Tableau. Okay, I also had the opportunity to help and mentor quite a number of Africans um, in regards to switching into tech. I've also been a LinkedIn top voice in data viz. And guess what? I also transitioned into the tech space. So I had my first degree in mechanical engineering. But today, what I do has nothing to do with mechanical engineering. I completely transitioned into data analytics and data science. So if you want to do the same, you are in the right session. Okay, the attendance form is in the chat box now. You can click on that link, fill it out duly. So let us go ahead with the session, okay? But just as a way of introducing Naviance Analytics to those who are just joining us for the very first time, Naviance Analytics is an edtech firm, and what we do is to help Africans make a smooth switch into data-centric career paths, okay? And we've helped quite a number of Africans to make that switch. And how we do that is by bringing on board astute professionals who would bring their own experience on board. And based on their experience, you learn from their experience. So you're learning as if you're already working on the job. Okay, so that's a little bit about us. And today we're going to be looking at um, some people who have made the switch from non-tech to tech, their very first tech job. If you were here a whole lot earlier, you would have heard some of them speak already. Okay. I'll also be uncovering some cheat codes. I call them cheat codes. Okay. And the reason I call them cheat codes is because don't worry, by the time I start giving you cheat codes, I won't even need to tell you these are the cheat codes. Okay. You will be able to figure them out once I start telling you guys. Okay. And of course, how you can also take that step into the next chapter of your career. And I'll be making some special announcements at the end of the session, and you will then be able to ask me any questions the way I'm speaking with you now. So give me a thumbs up if you are ready for what is coming next. Give me a thumbs up. I need to know you're all set so that we can dive right in. Okay, let's dive right in. Fantastic, fantastic, brilliant, brilliant one. So let us go ahead, okay, and continue. Now, this young lady here, Esther, if you were here earlier, you would have heard her speak already. Esther finished from the School of Nursing. Okay, very passionate about the health sector, but very quickly she realized that, oh yes, I'm in my sector of passion, but I am not where I want to be financially. I'm not satisfied financially. So what did Esther do? Esther decided that I'm going to try tech. She chose Naviance Analytics, registered for one of our courses. And 3 months later, Esther got her very first tech job as a monitoring and evaluation analyst working with Power Hybrid. So she works from home most of the time, and once in a while goes to the office to meet the requirements of her contract. Okay, and that was Esther. Another person is Naomi. Naomi used to work, or let me rephrase, Naomi works in a francophone country. She's a Nigerian, so she's a foreigner working in one of the francophone countries. One of the banks then bought over her own bank where she works, and then they started relegating foreigners, including herself. So she was like, you know what? I want to be so skilled, so much so that I can work from home. So what she did was, you know what? I'm going to learn business analysis. And she joined our program earlier this year. Fast forward, the same organization that was relegating Naomi, because Naomi followed our advice and she was highly vocal about her upskilling. Listen to me. She was highly vocal about upskilling. She leveraged LinkedIn the same way we instructed her to do. That organization that was relegating her created a new department and asked her to head that department. And she asked one simple question: at least am I going to get some form of training so that I can effectively lead the department? And they looked at themselves and said, Naomi, we see what you do on LinkedIn. You see that knowledge you are sharing on LinkedIn. That is what we want you to come teach people in that department while you head the department. So this is what scaling up in the right direction can do for you. Now, there are so many other people, but let me stop with these first two and start to give you some nice tips, some tips that after this session, when you go back to your normal routine, this would be in your mind and you can start implementing it as soon as possible, or at least you know it and you know why some things are currently happening with you in your upskilling journey. Now, tech recruiters are using certain tricks that you need to know. Okay, tech recruiters especially, recruiters generally are using it, but tech recruiters especially are using this trick. Now, you see, recruiters abroad, they are no longer keen on hiring a talent within their own locality. So take, for example, a recruiter in North America, somewhere in Canada, US, rather than hiring a talent in their own locality where they would need to pay them a yearly salary of about 40,000 to 50,000 US dollars yearly, they look towards Africa to hire an equivalent talent so that they can pay them a way lesser yearly salary. And when I say a way lesser yearly salary, they can pay you as low as 7,000 US dollars per year. Look at it, look at the gap from 50,000 US dollars per year down to 7,000. Okay, of course, there's no tech talent abroad that will take that from you. You can only find them in Africa. So, and let's make it make sense. Okay, now 7,000 US dollars. Now, I'll need the help of our Forex guys here on the call. Okay, help me do the conversion very quickly. 7,000 US dollars. Okay, divided by 12. Okay, that's your monthly salary. Convert it to Naira. How much will you be earning on a monthly basis if you were to be earning that lower end, 7,000 US dollars per year? So divide it into 12 places, convert one of it to Naira, and let me know how much will you be earning per month in Naira. How much will you be earning per month? Type it in the chat so that everybody can see it. Okay, type your answer. I know there are different rates, so I'll pick the lowest, the person that gives me the lowest rates. Okay, so 7,000 US dollars on a yearly basis, converted to Naira divided by 12. How much would you be earning on a monthly basis in Naira? Who is helping me? Who is helping me? Very quickly, who is helping me out with that? Who is helping me out with that? Type it in the chat quickly. Let me see what it is. Who is helping me out? Who is helping me out? Who is helping me out, guys? Who is helping me out? Let me check the chat. So 7,000 US dollars per year divided by 12. Let's quickly do it together. Okay, let's do it together. So 7,000. Let me pull up my calculator. Okay. Who knows the current rate? Who knows the current rate for who knows the current rate for dollars right now? Who can give me the live rate for dollars right now? Okay, let's pull that up. 1,470. Okay, 1,470. So let's do it together. So 7,000 times 1,470. Okay, that will give me 10.29 million. So I divide this by 12 to get my monthly salary. So that's 857,500 naira on a monthly basis. Now, 857,500 naira on a monthly basis. Guys, is that a decent salary for you to be earning right now in Nigeria? Is that, of course, it's not going to buy you a Lamborghini or a Bugatti or a house in Lekki, okay? But is that a decent salary still for you to be earning right now? Type your answers in the chat. Let me know. Is that a decent salary for you to be earning right now as an African talent? Okay, an African tech talent working remotely right now. Let me know your answers in the chat. Okay. Now, if you consider that a decent salary for yourself, then please remain in this session. And if you already earned something above that, you can feel free to leave the session. Okay. So, but here is the point. Recruiters are now looking to save more because of the gap we have in what we call purchasing power parity. They understand the economy and they know that for most Africans, especially if you're even in Nigeria, okay, such a salary is you know uh easily very decent for most people. Now, that's not all. Recruiters are now using AI. Recruiters are now using what? AI. Everybody, type AI in the chat. Let me know you are following me. Type AI in the chat. Let me know that you are following me. This is me giving you premium information. Okay? Premium information. All right. So if you thought the first one I said is the only one I'll share, well, listen to me. Just getting started. So recruiters are using AI. Okay, if recruiters are using AI, so what? Okay, that's the question. So what? Now, recruiters are using AI, and whether you get a job or not is going to be based on the decision an AI is making. Whether you get a tech job or not, at some point, that decision is going to be made by an AI. So, how do recruiters use AI? Okay, now let me explain how you get a job when you hit the apply button. But first of all, how many of you are currently actively applying to jobs? Okay, uh, how many of you are currently actively applying to jobs? Just type apply in the chat so that I know if you're currently actively applying to jobs. Okay, especially if you're getting rejection emails, you get all those rejection emails. Oh, we're sorry to inform you that while your application stood out, we will be moving with other candidates who are more suitable to the role. Okay, we wish you well in your future endeavors. If you are familiar with such an email, then you are in the right place tonight. Thank you, thank yourself for uh, making time to be here. Now you see, here is the thing: majority of you think that, and I used to be in this category back in the days. When you hit the apply button, you think that your CV goes directly to the HR table and they actually look at it. Well, you're wrong. The CV does not go directly to the HR. Again, just to remind you guys, if you've not filled out the attendance form, please click on the link in the chat box posted by Inquiries Nabians. You see that's the attendance form. Ensure to fill it out. Okay, ensure to fill it out. Indicate done once you've filled it out so that I know that you filled it out. If you want my slides and the recording of this session once it becomes available. Okay, so let's go ahead. Now, when you hit the apply button, what actually happens is that your CV goes to a robot called ATS. This ATS is sometimes built using AI. It's an AI built to look at your CV, takes your CV, takes the job description, JD, takes the job description of the job you applied to, and does what we call a job match. a job match. Okay, now it does this job match and scores your CV on a scale of 1 to 100. Sadly, and I say sadly because this is where it all happens. Sadly, if your CV scores a job match less than the range of 90 to 95, anything less than 90 to 95, it sends you a rejection email 5 days after you did your application. So it means that if you get a rejection email, the recruiters did not know that you applied to the job specifically because they didn't check it. So it's the AI that did the first level of check, okay, and sent you the rejection email as courtesy, okay, and they deliberately delayed it for like 5 days at least so that they don't give you depression or demoralize you, or make you feel like you are not good enough. Do you understand me? So they delay it so that they can protect your mental health. Okay, so this is what actually happens. Now you see that very few CVs that pass through the ATS and beat the ATS. Those are the ones that, of course, I've already talked about this. About 95% of CVs get rejected, and that's why you are most likely to get rejected than invited for an interview whenever you apply to job, especially if you are not aware of this to even start with. So most people get rejected. But you see those few that go to the HR, okay, these are the ones the HR then decides to invite for an interview depending on their hiring capacity. Sometimes they invite all of them. Sometimes they then look through those ones and invite some first, okay, and then they hire for the job. Now, once they hire for the job, okay, and the person has passed their probationary period, usually at least 3 months, okay, sometimes it can be 6 months of probationary period. They then send the rest of the applicant a rejection email. That's why sometimes you could apply for a job and after 6 months you get called for an interview. It's happened to me before. I had forgotten that I'd even applied to the job and I got called for an interview. Okay, although I later rejected that particular job because I had moved on. Okay, but I wanted to test my interview skills, so it was good to know that I passed. All right. So yeah, you can be like that. So you be in a position where you be the one to reject recruiters instead of it happening the other way around. Okay. Another funny experience I had was there was a job I applied to. Immediately I hit the apply button, I got a rejection email. And it was very fascinating to me because how is that even possible as of that time? Okay. But what can explain it is this. Either of two things may have happened. It is either whoever set up the ATS. Can you make the voice audible? Please, if you can hear my voice clearly, type I can hear you clearly. So Chioma knows that the issue is most likely from my end and not mine. So type I can hear you clearly if you can actually hear me clearly. Type I can hear you clearly in the chat, please, guys, so that Chioma can hear. Chioma knows that it's from their end and most likely not mine. I can hear you clearly. Thank you very much. So if you're looking for the form, my team member is in the chat. They will respond to you shortly with the form. Okay, just keep an eye on the chat. The form will be right there anytime now. So let us continue. Now, guys, a lot of people don't understand this. You can see this ATS right here makes that decision whether you move here or you move here. So you need to be able to beat the ATS, and there is a way to get past the ATS. There is a way to get past the ATS every single time. Okay, and I'll share that with you as we go on with the session. So, but the key thing is this. Right now, as we are sitting here speaking, there are over 35K jobs across LinkedIn when it comes to data analytics, data science, business analysis. But the key thing is that you still don't have one of these jobs to yourself. Okay, now Mohammed just said 35K. Mohammed, can you prove that? Well, let us look at uh let us look at uh let us look at let us look at LinkedIn together. Let's quickly go to LinkedIn. How many of you have a LinkedIn account? If you have a LinkedIn account, type LinkedIn in the chat. Let me know. Let's go to LinkedIn. Let's get our hands dirty. Let's do a little bit of practicals and let me show you what the demand looks like right now across those data centers. So if you have a LinkedIn account, um, you know, you can go to LinkedIn now and do the same thing. More importantly, you may want to follow me on LinkedIn, send me a connection request. I'll put my LinkedIn profile in the chat box so you can send me a connection request and we can take it off from there. Okay. But the key thing is this, all right? The key thing is this, guys. When you come to LinkedIn, okay, you want to come to the search bar, okay, and search something like, let's start with data analytics, okay, data analyst, search for data analysts, okay. Now, this is a random, search for data analyst. Okay, random search for data analyst. There are so many ways you can search. You can search. I mean, one of our students got a job as a marketing analyst. The other one, monitoring and evaluation analyst. They are HR analysts. So you don't need to confine yourself to data analyst alone. But let's even search those data analysts. Okay, once you search for data analyst, okay, now guys, I came here because I want to show you what the abundance looks like. Okay, but right now I am teaching you how to actually look for a job. So if you are very smart, you would listen very attentively. Okay, so on the top left here, you click on jobs, and after clicking on jobs, you want to ensure that your location is EMEA. EMEA, Europe, Middle East, and Africa. Europe, Middle East, and Africa. Europe, Middle East, and Africa. So that covers all the regions, including your current location. Are you with me? Are you with me, guys? Are we together? Show me a sign that you're with me. Are you? Are we together? Fantastic. Now, key thing I want you to look at is, look right here. Can you look at the area right here that I've highlighted? This area right here that I highlighted. How many job vacancies can you see there? How many job vacancies can you see there? How many? 14,000 plus results. 14,000 plus results. 14,000 plus results. How many are we on this call? We are roughly 70 on the call right now. Okay, 14,000. If 70 of us, I mean, it is likely that this plus that is at the back, okay, 70 of us may not even cover it. So at the end of the day, you go to see that the abundance is there. In fact, you can filter to remote. I want to see only remote jobs. I want to see only remote jobs. And even filtering to remote gives you 2,000. So the abundance is there. The roadblock for you is you don't have the necessary skill, okay, to take on these jobs. And you can see someone posted 5 hours ago, okay, 6 days ago, 3 weeks ago, 2 days ago, okay, 6 days ago, all right, 4 hours ago, 8 hours ago, 7 hours ago. These are hot, 5 hours ago. So at the end of the day, you want to sit down with yourself and come to terms with the fact that, look, you don't have the skills. That is why it seems very far-fetched for you to actually break into tech. And even if you have the skills, you don't have the strategy. Are you with me, guys? Are you with me? Okay. So, and this has resulted in many Africans failing even before they start. How do you fail before you start? You don't even select the right career path. Because selecting the right career path is a strategy on its own. It is a strategy on its own. Guys, can you hear me? I feel like I'm talking to just myself. Can you hear me? Are we together, guys? Beg your pardon. Fantastic one. Fantastic one. Great, great. So let's move on. So now you're looking to get a job towards the end of, I mean, 2025 is wrapping up, although it doesn't mean you should relax. Okay, this is the time you should make very vital decisions, preparing for next year and beyond. Okay, by next year, for example, if you're a Nigerian, you're likely gonna be a taxpayer. Okay, you're likely going to be a taxpayer, except you are earning something lower than 66,666 naira right now on a monthly basis. Only people who are earning lesser than that will likely not pay tax. But if your salary currently is 66,666 naira or more, you're going to be paying tax. Okay, you're going to be paying tax. So yes, the more you earn, the more tax you pay. But where would you rather be? Where would you actually rather be? Okay, by the time next year comes, would you rather you're earning 857,000 plus on a monthly basis, and even after the tax, you still have a tangible amount left, or you'd rather stick with where you currently are now, okay, just because you earn lesser, I mean you incur lesser tax. So the decision is yours, right? But the key thing is this. Let's start to go into some of the data. Now, this particular screenshot you are seeing here was pulled out from the World Economic Forum Future of Jobs report for 2025. Okay, and I've included a link here to 300 thereabout pages report. You may want to go through the details of the report once you get my slides. Okay, ensure you fill out the attendance form in the chat. Click on the link to fill out the attendance form. Okay, so that you get my slides as well as the recording if you haven't already. Okay, but the key thing is this: the World Economic Forum Future of Jobs report is compiled after a meeting or a discussion, a conference between captains of industries, billionaires in dollars, top world politicians, and thought leaders in their right. They come together to discuss a very vital economic subject, which is future of jobs. What's the trajectory jobs would take heading into the year 2030 from now? And what you can see on my screen is that technologies that would drive businesses between the year 2025 to 2030 in terms of prediction are technologies that are going to be hovering around AI and information processing. AI and information processing. Now, AI and information processing, which is right on top of that chart, okay, it simply means data and AI. Data and AI. So if you are skilled in using information processing technologies like Excel, Power BI, Tableau, SQL, Python, and the likes, you are going to be well positioned. But let's move on. So what we did was we looked at several job boards: LinkedIn, Indeed, CV Library, Glassdoor, Azuda, We Work Remotely, uh, crossover.com, so many job boards. Okay. And we also looked thoroughly at the Future of Jobs uh, reports by the World Economic Forum. And one of the things that we were able to come to conclusion with is that the career path you should be looking at right now, especially as an African heading into the year 2026, is data analytics, data science, and business analysis. So you want to be looking at getting yourself skilled right now in one of these three career paths. Okay, and these three career paths are very fantastic as a launch pad, not just into your very first tech career job, but beyond. Okay, and beyond. So Why? Why should you be looking at this career path? Number one, it is easy to learn. Okay, it is easy to learn. All right, and here is where I like to mention a very vital disclaimer. Now, this is not forex. I mean, forex, they'll tell you, oh, you just need your phone. Forex is if you want to make money online and you're a lazy person, do forex. Okay, this is not forex. But when I say it is easy to learn, what I mean is that regardless of your current background, whether you're a fresh graduate or you're a young professional or you're in the banking sector or you're a teacher or you are a stay-at-home mom, okay, whatever background you are right now, you can learn this to a point where you can say, I know how to do this thing. That's what I mean by easy to learn. Okay, pretty much anybody who is interested in it can learn it to that point. Okay, number two is it's easy to transition. Why? It is because of the sheer abundance of the demand for skilled professionals in this career path. I mean, we saw what it looks like on LinkedIn moments ago. Okay, so the attendance will be shared. Okay, the attendance will be shared. Okay, the attendance will be shared. All right. Anytime now. Okay, give me a second. The attendance will be shared anytime now. Okay, now let's move ahead. The third and final reason is that it has great salary projections. Okay, I mean, we all saw the calculation that we did together. Okay, using 7,000 US dollars per year. In fact, even 5,000 US dollars per year. If you convert it, that will give you somewhere around 600 plus, 600 plus, 600K plus naira per month, which is still very decent for most people. Okay, so the salary projections are fantastic. All right, so the big question is, what do you need to know to become either a data analyst or a data scientist or a business analyst? Are you ready? Are you ready so that I tell you what you need to learn so that you can become one of these? All right, fantastic. So as a data analyst, okay, let me pick my laser so that you can follow me. Now, as a data analyst, you need to learn Excel, SQL, Power BI, Power BI, Tableau, Looker Studio, okay, and Chat GPT. You need to learn these tools to become a skilled data analyst. And your job as a data analyst is when you get into when you get into when you get into uh when you get into a an organization, your job would be to take hold of their data and transform it into something like this. Let me show you an example. Okay, let me show you an example. So you get the data of an organization and you want to transform it into something that looks like this. So let's wait for it to load. Okay, or let's load this one. So they are still loading. So this is a Looker Studio dashboard that is loading, and this is a Power BI dashboard that is loading right here. So let's see which one loads first. So I'll just show you. All right, so you want to be able to build fantastic, you want to be able to build something like this. So this is a dashboard built in um Power BI, okay, and hosted here using the Power BI service. All right, most people don't know what that is, what the Power BI service is. People know Power BI, but not Power BI service. Okay, and this particular chart was created using parameters in Power BI. such that you can see that each of these, this is talking about total shipment, total cost, total revenue, total profit, and the colors were not randomly picked. Let me show you why. This is total shipment, and this particular chart down below is showing me shipment performance trend. Now, this is total cost. If I want to see cost performance trend, I click on cost, and the chart would follow the same color code so that my eyes can easily travel from top to bottom. Okay, this is what you call intentional use of colors and positioning for data storytelling. Now, you must be able to know how to do things like this to call yourself a fully fledged data analyst, not just building a dashboard in Power BI. It's not about building a dashboard in Power BI alone. It's about how can you make something like this. Okay, for example, I didn't have to open Power BI to come here. All right, this is a link. Okay, I can even share it with you so you can view the dashboard by yourself. So how can you create something like this? Just share a link with your CEO, and all your CEO needs to do is to go to that link and they can see exactly what's happening. So whoever is asking for the attendance form, I share the attendance form. I mean, one of my team members have shared the attendance form. The link I shared is the link to this dashboard, so you can see it. Okay, so this is the one for Looker Studio. This is Looker Studio. Looker Studio is online, so once you create the dashboard, it's just going to be there online. Okay, it's going to be there online. So this is Looker Studio. So if you want to stand out, you can't just go and build something that is ordinary. You have to be skilled. When they say skilled, okay, pro level skilled. So as for data scientists, you want to become a data scientist, you want to be able to take it a notch further than the data analyst. Okay, where you make prediction. You want to make prediction. Okay, you want to make prediction. All right, let me see if I could pull something up very quickly. So that I show you a typical data science, job, so you get to see what it looks like. Give me a second to pull that up. Okay, so give me a second to pull something up. Let me see if I can pull something up so that you guys get to see a typical data science project. Okay, let me see if I can pull something up for you. All right, let me see if I can pull something. I like it when you guys are seeing. So, when you are seeing something, yeah, it makes more sense. When you are seeing something live, it makes sense. So let me see, it's still loading. That's why I've not put it in. So just give me a second. Once it's done loading, I'll pull it into my screen here, and you'll be able to see it. Okay, you'll be able to see it. Guys, can you still hear me? Confirm you can hear me, please. Confirm you can actually hear me. Confirm you can hear me. Okay, so here it is. It's still loading. Okay, some of the pages are still loading. It's a data science project. Okay, so this was built using Python. So as a data scientist, you want to be able to write Python codes like this to make predictions. Okay, to make predictions. And you can see this is the data dictionary talking about what the data contains. You can see age, sex, CP. You can see this particular project is trying to predict which patients are likely to be diagnosed with a heart disease. So the age, the sex, okay, the chest pain, blood pressures, cholesterol, um, there's what you call body mass index, several data about the patient. And from this data, the idea is to then train a predictive model. So you build a model as a data scientist. That model is an AI. The AI will learn the data set. And then when new data comes in, it is able to predict what patient is likely to be predicted, to be diagnosed with a heart disease. So this is just checking for checking the data set, doing EDA, you know, learning about the data set. You can see this is talking about distribution of ECG value, and the likes. So this is all Python code. And guess what? It is very easy to do, especially these days with the advent of AI tools like ChatGPT, Claude AI, Julius AI, and so many other AI platforms. You can actually build something like this, okay, with just understanding your basics, your Python basics strongly. You can build something like this, okay? You can build something like this yourself from scratch. All these are just outputs. Not all of them are codes. Some of them are outputs, okay, of the code. Somebody saying, please share your screen. I believe my screen is visible. I believe you can see my screen. If you can't see my screen, leave the call and join back, okay? From my end, everything is working fine. My screen is visible. If you can't see my screen, it's likely from your end. Okay, so this is a typical data science project. Can you see what is written here? Confusion matrix. Confusion matrix, that's the name. Okay, so these are the things that make data science very interesting. What is a confusion matrix? You can see predicted label, no disease, no disease. What does this thing mean? So, and these are the bits, and you can see it's not just about writing codes and output, it is about giving if you read from here down to here, you can see here it's saying in summary, the model had 25 true positive prediction, meaning it correctly identified 25 people who had heart disease, and had 28 true negative prediction, meaning it correctly identified 28 people who did not have heart disease, because these are ways to verify that the project you did, or the model you built as a data scientist can be used on several other new patients. So that is a typical job of a data scientist. And for you to be able to become one, you learn Excel, SQL, Tableau, Python, GitHub for version control, and ChatGPT. Okay, so all you need these days, okay, I am telling you for free, even if you are scared of coding, okay, now this is me taking it to the extreme. Even if you are scared of coding, you only need determination. You don't need to even like coding these days. If you are determined to learn it, don't worry, you'll be able to know it. You learn the basics very well, okay, and with the use of AI, you can write any code you want, and you want to then focus on interpretation. It is not the codes your CEO wants, it is the interpretation. Okay, this code you've written, how can we action it? How can we translate it? What should we do next now? That is what they want to hear from you. You are not, no CEO will sit down and you'll be explaining how you merged two tables using Python codes. Nobody has that time. Are you with me, guys? Are you with me, guys? Then as for the business analyst, okay, your job really is to go into an organization, okay, and you want to lead the organization to achieve a certain goal. Let me explain. Take, for example, you're working with Jumia as a business analyst, or you're working with Nestle, the makers of Milo, right? One of the things Nestle pride themselves in is their very versatile supply chain. And when you think of supply chain, if you know what supply chain is, It is how goods move from being raw material down to getting into the hands of of customers. Okay, it will think of delivery. You know all these delivery logistics. Okay, delivery. That is what it is, right? So you as a business analyst, you could be employed and be told, oh, it takes us 1 week to deliver, packages to our customers. We want you to reduce that to 5 days within the next 3 months. Your job as a business analyst, the first thing you want to do is to build something like this. Let me show you. You know, me, I like to show. If you've by now you should know that when I talk, I like to show what I'm saying, right? I like to show what I'm saying so that you can put it in perspective. Okay, let me quickly show you. As a business analyst, you need to build something like what I'm about to show you. Okay, you need to build something like what I'm about to show you now. Okay, so that you can map out the process that currently exists. So they currently are delivering, parcels to uh, uh, let's open it with draw.io so you can see it in draw.io itself. So they are currently are delivering, packages to customers. What is that current process they are using? You want to draw it using draw.io so that you can visualize how the company currently works. Okay, let's drag it in here. Let's drag it in here. All right. So you want to be able to build something like this. Okay, this is the process. This is where it starts from. Okay, this is where it starts from this circle, and this is where it ends. So look at this is a company on paper. Then your job is now to look that, guys, what can we move around to speed up the process? It's not as easy as just taking something out. You can't just take something out. You have to understand this. Okay, you have to be able to even build this from scratch. Okay, and there are several methods of drawing this. And draw.io is all about drag and drop. Drag and drop. Drag and drop. If I want to attach something here now, I can just click on this and boom, I have this. Drag and drop. So draw.io is as easy as that. Okay, so these are some of the skills you need as a business analyst. And then you can suggest, okay, we need to move this around. We need to combine these two, processes so that you can retrench some of your staff. You don't need as many staff as you currently have. You can retrench some of them when you combine these things. That's why sometimes you see in a very big company, all of a sudden they come to demolish one aspect of the factory and combine some aspects, send some people home. Of course, some people may end up losing their job, but your job is to ensure that the company spends as less resources as possible to achieve the goals that they want to achieve. That's the kind of professional they want to keep. Okay. But these days, even if this is your core function as a business analyst, recruiters still want you to know a little bit about how to handle data. So for that reason, you see some job adverts to say business analyst, but you still see that you need to know Excel and Power BI. So for that reason, in our business analysis curriculum, we added Excel, SQL, and Power BI to cater to your data knowledge needs. Okay, and of course you'd go through the core business analysis frameworks: Miro, Draw.io, Azure DevOps, Jira, and of course ChatGPT. Okay, ChatGPT. So which one of these career paths are you going for? Which one are you going for? Very quickly, so that we can move on to more testimonials and how you can get yourself started in earnest. Okay, which one? I know you've picked one from the attendance form, you've already picked it, but regardless of what you picked previously, don't worry, just type now in the chat. Which one are you going for? Data analytics, data science, or business analysis? Type it in the chat very quickly while we go on to what is next. Let me see. Do we have more people for data analytics, data science, or business analysis? Okay, data analysis. All right. business analysis, data science. Fantastic. I like you guys. I like you guys. Okay. Now let's go on. You see, right now you need to start learning. Okay. Once you start learning, you have to start branding. I cannot overemphasize how branding is is in fact, I can almost say that if you know how to brand yourself very well, you don't even need to learn the skill. And this is what I mean. This is what I mean. Branding helps you get the job. Learning the skill itself helps you keep the job. I don't know if that makes sense. If you brand yourself, you can get the job. If you know the skill, you can keep the job. Okay, so that's how important branding is, and we help you with this CV assessment, LinkedIn profile optimization, portfolio building, portfolio. And when I say portfolio building, guys, let me show you again. So some of you may say, "Oh, Mohammed, your own is too much," but let me show you. Okay, there is no harm in showing you what a portfolio looks like. Now, when I say portfolio, what I mean is a website portfolio. Imagine you having a website. You don't have to pay to host the website. You don't have to write any code to build the website. It is yours. And on that website, it's gonna look like this. Tell people about yourself. And also you can have a dedicated portfolio page that shows the work you've been able to do so far. There is no recruiter straight off the bat that would not want to at least speak with you in an interview if they see that you have something like this. Even without you applying to job, just having this on your CV or your LinkedIn or your Instagram, okay, wherever you want to put it. If you have something like this, and recruiters come here and they scroll through and they see, you know what? I think this guy has what we need. Okay. Let's speak with him. Okay. I think you can do what we need him to do. This is something like what we need. So let's speak with him. All right. So this is a website portfolio. See, the irony of this is that you can build it without code, and because of that, 1 hour of your time, 1 hour of your time is enough with pure concentration to build this under my guidance. I can guide you in how to build a portfolio like this in under 1 hour. If it's what we started, we would have been wrapping up by now. Okay, but I need to make this point to you. Upwork profile setup. Upwork is a platform where you can get remote jobs. Okay, I would have showed that one to you again. All right, but I'll just prolong this session. You have mentorship, lifetime interview preps, job references, on the job support. And guys, one more thing that you need to know. You need to beat the ATS. I talked about how recruiters are currently using AI, and you have to, also find a way to use AI. How do you do it? This is how. You want to be able to build your own personal ATS so that before you run to hit the apply button, you will first do your own job match yourself so that you get your score. Now, once you get your score, okay, your ATS will be built in such a way that it also gives you recommendation on the keywords to add to your CV. You can use a data analyst CV to apply to a data analyst job and get rejected. That's what most people do. And that's because the keywords, you did not identify them. You did not insert them in your CV. Okay. So that way you get rejected. So when you do this with your own job matching AI, okay, you can build it with, there's so many platforms you can use. There is Wonder.ai, there is ChatGPT, there is Claude AI. There are so many of them that you can use to build things like this for yourself. Okay, and once you've done that, then when you're applying to jobs, you don't need to apply to thousands of jobs in a day. Okay, some people tell you, you need to apply to 100 jobs every month if you want to get one. Doesn't work that way these days. That was then. Now, if you can apply to 5 jobs consistently every week, but you see these 5 jobs, you sit down and do your job matching. with AI, okay, you stand a better chance of getting a job than somebody that just uses the same exact CV to apply to all the jobs that come their way. Okay, and there are so many people who fall for that. So Esther, she did just this. She started learning, she branded herself, she applied to jobs, okay, and she got her very first job offer. So more people, just a little bit more people who have done this, so that you get to see some of them. Before we go into how you can take the next steps, and then I start taking questions. All right, Ugochi. Ugochi is there was a point in her career where she had to step out of the corporate space to give birth, become a mom, and the likes. So, on trying to get back, she decided, you know what, I'm going to try tech, because if I go back to where I was, okay, it is just me losing out. So, she tried tech, she chose Nebiant Analytics, our business analysis program to be specific. This was February this year. And guess what? In June 2025, 1 month after our training program had ended, she got her first role as a business analyst working with Marite Consulting. From a stay-at-home mom to what? A tech sis. So when I say it's easy to learn, that's why I say if you are interested and you're ready to show up, okay, this is something for you. This was Mary. I won't dwell too much on Mary. Mary spoke earlier in the session. You also her. She met us on IG. She's been looking for a remote work and a platform that could help her get that. She registered for one of our course and she got an internship, a paid internship, 6 months paid internship with a long-term offer to follow it. And one of the things she normally tells us is that there were 3,000 applicants for that job, for that role. Only 2 of them were selected, and she was one of them. And she used to tell us that I think it is the CV you gave me that pulled me in. I don't think I am that good. I mean, 3,000 plus people. How come I am ranking top two? Well, that's the power of using the right CV to apply. Okay. But I used to tell Mary, okay, don't take your flowers from yourself. You also did the interview. I mean, I didn't attend the interview for you. You did it yourself and you got the job. So how would you have been able to answer those questions if you did not show up for your class and complete your tasks? Okay, so give yourself the flowers too. You did very well. So that's what I used to tell her. Oluwaseun Ojo, this young man used to work with a small microfinance bank as a risk officer. There happened to be an event last year where I was invited to speak as one of the keynote speakers. He happened to be in the audience and he asked me a lot of questions. Okay, little did I know, Oluwaseun had not only decided to join one of our programs, he started implementing some of the things he learned. For example, right now, you have learned 1 or 2 things from the session so far. In the past 1 hour, you've learned 1 or 2 things, right? Type yes in the chat. You've learned at least something new in this session. Oluwaseun was like that. He started implementing some of those things that he could implement, and he started getting the attention of recruiters even before he started his program. And that was a very clear green light for success for this young man. And he got so many gigs. And right now, he's working as a business analyst. Okay, so and there are so many more. Okay, I could keep on going on and on. Udwak Basi, she used to be an ordinary computer operator somewhere. Okay, before she and now she's currently listening. And this is something very interesting. Okay, Grace Grace currently works as an application support engineer, and she predominantly uses SQL, which she learned in our data analytics program. Her own company saw her upskilling, but they played a blind eye to it. And guess what? Eventually, another competitor stole her from them. Okay, they eventually tried to give her a promotion just to keep her, but it didn't work. To cut the long story short, Lebron Lawale, on the other hand, first 3 weeks into our program, uh, she got a job because she posted her dashboard on LinkedIn. LinkedIn again, guys. So if you are not active on LinkedIn, start dusting your LinkedIn account and get ready to get it back on track. Okay. And mind you, Liberal Lali used to teach. She used to be a teacher before she transitioned into tech. Okay. Helene Okai. Helene she graduated from she graduated with a biology degree from the university. Now she currently works as a marketing data analyst. All right. So at the end of the day, when you see these people, you would see that at the it's not a case of they don't have the skills, this and that. They learned it, and from different aspects of life, and they were able to achieve that goal. Okay, so let's go ahead. Some of the extra things you get, okay, just by choosing Nebient Analytics is you get a lifetime interview preparation. So anytime you have an interview coming up, whether your program has ended or not, okay, you can reach out to us. You have a lifetime access to all your training programs. So if you want to refresh your memory anytime in the future after the program, you can do that. Lifetime access to recommendation letters. So if you need a recommendation letter for a job, recruiters usually ask for recommendation letters. So you would need us to provide that to you. Lifetime alumni mentorship. So we have an alumni community that we are constantly building, and uh, we want you to be part of that, to benefit from some of the things. As an alumni member, you'll be getting job openings, okay, job adverts, exclusive job adverts sent to you so that you can keep on applying and implementing the strategies that you must have learned. It's a 4 month journey. The first 3 months is for intensive learning, and then the final 1 month is for internship. It's 100% online, just the way we are on this call. Okay, a little bit more getting your hands dirty. So you'd prepare yourself for practicals, okay, under the guidance of an instructor. Saturdays 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then on Sundays, you have what we call DID videos. These are self-paced preparatory videos that prepare you ahead of the next Saturday, so that when you come to class, you are not a total blank page. All right. During the week, you actually don't have classes, but we still meet with you to check on you. So on Tuesday, we check on you. Is there any issue you're having? So you'll be able to complain in that session, and the facilitator will help you out with any issues you have. And then on Thursdays is mentorship. Mentorship, where we talk about things that has nothing to do with the technologies you're working with. For example, how do you negotiate a salary in an interview? How do you even introduce yourself in an interview? Okay, how do you answer tricky questions like, can you tell me one of your weaknesses? And because you've prepared for that, you answer, and they tell you, can you tell me another weakness? Okay, so how would you survive that kind of interview question? Tricky questions. Oh, can you tell us a time where you disagreed with your line manager? Or can you tell us a time you missed the deadline? How did you handle it? You can't go into an interview and say you've never missed the deadline. It's either you're lying or you don't have as much experience as you claim to have. Okay, and that is where preparation comes in. So we discuss all of this in the mentorship session. Okay, and you'll be making use of 2 platforms. You make use of a Google Classroom. This is the secret behind you getting a lifetime access to all your training materials. You also make use of our bespoke LMS, Learning Management System, where you get access to the preparatory videos. So all the full brochure to the courses are all here. So you want to go into some of the intricate details. You may want to ensure you filled out the attendance form, okay, so that you can get this directly into your mailbox. You can go to this slide, and then you'll be able to see all of it. So these are some of the fantastic extra projects you get to work on. Mind you, these projects you are seeing were built by our students. Okay, these are built by some students. If you look here, you see Abayomi Fatoki. So uh, that is that about that. And I included the full portfolio of some of our students. So these are some of our students. Click on them, click on the link to view some of the nice portfolios there. But the key thing for you right now, the next step for you right now is how to join our next class starting on the 8th of November 2025. So on the 8th of November 2025, you can actually get started. On the 8th of November 2025, you can actually get your journey started so that by January, you are not asking, is there still space to enroll? That's not a question you want to be asking in January. By January, you want to be positioned for jobs if you haven't gotten a job yet, right? So who am I with? Who is working with me? Because guess what? I have a special thing for the first 10 people that will decide tonight that they are going to do what it takes to secure their seat for the November 8th cohort. Okay, so if you want to be part of the first 10 people, okay, you need to listen attentively for the next you need to find you need to pay attention to me for the next 5 minutes so that you can meet all the requirements to get yourself a seat, and also the special package I have for the first 10 people. Now, for you to get enrolled in any of our courses, the prices are all the same, okay? Either data analytics or data science or business analysis. The price of the program, actual price, standard fee is 350,000 naira. That is the standard fee. Okay, so the first benefit you get for being here tonight with me is that you will not be paying 350,000 naira. Okay, if you do the next steps. Okay, instead of 350,000 naira, you get an instant 100k off. So you only get to pay a total of 250,000 naira. As if that is not enough, you can split that into 3 installments. First installment is 85,000. That gets you started in November. 1 month later into the program, you then pay another 85,000. That makes it 170k, and then you balance with the remaining 80,000. The second month into the program. And you can do that via a direct bank transfer to our Sterling Bank account 0098999 or you can visit our website and pay online using your card. All right. All you need to do once you are done, you send me a DM so that I put you through the next step of your enrollment process. Okay. Of your enrollment process. All right. Now, this discount is a limited offer just for people who decide to enroll tonight. Okay, and you can secure your discounted spot with as low as 30,000 naira now. Let me explain. So if you make an enrollment of 30,000 naira right now, you get access to this 250,000 naira spot, which means for you to complete the first installment to get started in November, you only need an extra 55,000 naira towards the end of the month. So you can hold down your spot now with 30,000 naira. And should you decide that you will be part of the first 10 people to hold down their spot and send me a DM with a proof of payment immediately, okay, you will be part of the 10 people who I'll be putting through an exclusive training session tomorrow, where I'll be walking you through on how to build a website portfolio without writing a single line of code in about 1 hour, 8:30 p.m. So if you want to get all of this is the extra, okay? This is just from me to you for the first 10 people, just to, give something extra to the first 10 people who decide to send me a DM tonight with the proof of enrollment. So while I take questions, you can secure your spot. I'll be taking questions now for the next 15 minutes before we call it a night tonight. Okay, so if you have any question, you can either type it in the chat or use the raise hand icon like this. I would allow you to unmute and then you will be able to speak. But there is a ground rule. We'll use a ground rule. The ground rule is you can't speak until I call your name. So please do not unmute your microphone until I call your name. I'm going to call names based on the order in which hands are raised. I can see some hands are already raised. So I'll call your name based on the hands that are raised. You'll have about 3 seconds to start speaking so that I know you are with me. So these are the ground rules. Let me see if I have any questions in the chat so that I can start with people in the chat. Please, you don't be enrollment by January. There won't be enrollment by January, okay? Sadly enough. All right. So, and like I said, even by January, you want to have had these skills, not looking for where you, even if you get an enrollment by January, you would get it for at least 500,000 naira. And guess what? Even if you get it at that price, okay, it is still going to be worth your investment. That is if there is a general class. Okay, so you don't want to be under so much ifs like that. Register now and let's start a journey together so you don't hear stories that touch. So let's take the hands. I have Akinjide's hand up. So Akinjide, you want to speak with me? Let me enable your microphone so that you can speak. All right, Akinjide, I see your hand is up. Is that a thumbs up? Did you intend to give me a thumbs up or you have an actual question? You can speak if you want to ask me a question. Okay, it's a thumbs up. All right, I thought as much. So Mustafa Yusuf, is yours also a thumbs up or you actually want to ask me a question? Okay, and Akinjide, since you're already, here, is I've not seen your DM yet. Okay, I've not seen your DM yet. I still get DMs. So like I said, I'll be working with just the first 10 people tomorrow. Okay, in the exclusive session. So let me know if you've secured your spot, Akinjide, so that you can move to the next stage. Send me a DM 0703-215-8619 on WhatsApp, please. WhatsApp, please. That's my line. So once you've made payments, all you need is to send me a DM. The account number is on the screen. Sterling Bank 0098999047. All right. So let's see. Okay, Mustafa Yusuf also. I've not received your DM, so I'll be awaiting your DM as well. Jao Samuel, your hand is up. You want to speak? Go ahead, please. Your voice is a bit more muted, so I don't know if you're using a headphone. You want to unplug it so that it can be better. Okay, but I'm struggling to hear you, but you can speak. Let me see if it improves. What I just want to say is, how do I get together? I honestly really can't hear you. Very sad about that. I honestly really can't. Can you type your question in the chat? Can you type it in the chat? Is that possible? All right, so type it in the chat, so I'll respond to it once I get it. Okay, I'll respond to it once I get it. Okay, so who else has a question? All right. Let's see who else has a question. Let me see. Uh, Okay, so if you have a question, type it in the chat. With 30,000 naira, you can secure your spot, okay, right now. And your journey literally starts tomorrow with my exclusive session. After that, you then get yourself set. So I joined the meeting now, friend. I'm interested in the course. How do I get the full details? All right. So first thing first for you, Ajao Samuel, is you want to fill out the attendance form. Just write above your own message. Click on that link, fill the form. Okay, fill the form. All right. The next step is you want to text any of the admins in the community where you are, WhatsApp community. Check for the admin. Send any of them a DM and tell them that you want to speak with an expert. Okay, they'll get either myself or any of my team members. Okay, sometime um, to give you some of the so that you can ask your questions live. Okay, since you were a bit late into the session. Okay, but key thing is a discounts currently running. Okay, 100K discounts on our courses, and all you need to secure a spot right now is 30,000 naira. Send me a DM and you get a spot for yourself. Okay, you get a spot for yourself. All right, so ensure that you have secured a spot. So I can see that we have quite a number of more people on the call right now. Okay, and you're not asking me questions. All right, Adebola, Ejiofor, Ernest, Dolapo, Sunday, um, Dapsol Global Venture, EX Concept. So I've been seeing your EX Concept. I've been seeing your thumbs up during the session. Favor, I've not heard from you. Finesse, I've not heard from you. Fumilola, I've not heard from you. Gabriel, what's up? Are you letting this slide by you? Bolan, Isaac, okay, Lekon, I've been seeing Lekon, Miracle, Muhammad Alamin, that's my namesake. Mustafa Yusuf, I've heard from you, but I've not heard from you again, if you understand what I mean. Chinyere, Oge, Ikiola, Happy, Fine, um, Eniola, Akinibino, Steven, Sunday. There are so many Stevens on the call, okay? Sylvia, Toby, Tony, Victoria, and Yusuf Olajide. So, please shoot me a question if you have any, okay? I'd love to take that. Okay, let me see. Sir, is business analysis flexible to any kind of data for any business? Okay, fantastic. Very good question. I like how you're thinking, EX concept. So what you're going to be learning is the tools and some use cases. Okay. Now, if you are very smart, let me give you a cheat code. You know, I've been giving cheat codes since. If you are very smart and you pick the business analysis program, now I'm not saying that if you don't pick the business analysis program, you have anything to lose. But if you pick the business analysis program, it is like you are it is like you have a double major course. Let me explain. Because you will do a little bit of data there, you can also apply to some kind of data analysis jobs. Okay. So, and to apply to any data analysis job, It could be from any sector, okay? Because the key thing is you knowing the skill. Whatever domain you find yourself, they will put you through. I remember my first job as a data analyst. The first couple of weeks, I was not analyzing data. Okay, I was understanding the business, how the business works, what the operation is. That was what the first week was mainly about. Okay, me settling down and understanding how the business work, asking questions, and that helped me understand their data needs. What is the data going to do for them? Okay, and based on that understanding, I was able to build. All right, so and like I said, I finished with a mechanical engineering degree from university, and I've worked in supply chain, I've worked in finance, I've worked in oil and gas, I've worked in automobile, so many sectors. And it is only possible to do that with tech skills like this. So rather than worry about which sector or how tailored to a particular business it is, it's very versatile. Okay, in as much as you are able to understand the business, okay, and understand that domain, which most companies are willing, okay, to do for you, giving the kind of skills and value they see it as an investment in you also, and then they're able to extract value from you by way of you using your skills to analyze their data. So it's not tailored to a specific kind of business. Rather, pretty much any business that has data, okay, you can implement these skills. I hope I answered the question, EX concept. I hope I answered your question for you, EX concept. And meanwhile, uh if you have sent me a DM, okay, I will be responding to you immediately after I drop off this call. In about the next 4 minutes, I'll be off this call. Okay, so ensure you can see the account details in the chat as well. Sterling Bank 0098999047 30,000. You can secure your spot now. Once I'm off this call, we revert to the normal price standard fee, which is 350,000 naira. Okay, so ensure that once you have secured your spot, you send me a DM. Okay, and like I said, if you've already sent me a DM tonight, then I will be responding to you immediately after this session. 0703 215 8619. Okay, so do we have any more questions? Do we have any more questions? Okay, somebody's saying I have a little knowledge on website design. I want to know if Wix is good for portfolio. So pretty much you can use anything for website. Okay, you can use anything for website, but it is not everything that is free. Okay, if you want to host websites, there are yearly subscriptions. So, but for you who is a professional who needs something where you can showcase your skills to people in a highly customized manner, you need something that you would not be paying every year for or every month for. Some that have monthly subscriptions, some have yearly subscriptions. So you would use a platform where you wouldn't need to write code, you won't need to pay, and you can customize as you like. You can customize as you like. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Ejiofor. Okay, that's pretty much it. So secure your spot and let's get started. Okay, somebody said, okay, yes, sir, still on the flexibility. Can it be essential? Can it be essentials for social media trend and data, considering the amount of data? I'm not sure I understand your question. Let me read it again, see if I understand. Still on flexibility of data, can it be essential for social media trend? Oh, of course, of course. EX concept. What do you mean? Look, let me tell you something. I don't know if you've ever heard of sentiment analysis. Sentiment analysis. Now, this is under data science, but analyzing social media data is not limited to data science alone. In fact, some of these social media platforms already have an inbuilt data analytics feature. Okay, but they don't go as deep as what a data analyst would do. So, in as much as you can extract the data, you can definitely analyze. Okay, and you even have what you call sentiment analysis. So you can use Python, for example, to scrape data from the internet. Okay, maybe there's something trending, for example. What is trending right now in Nigerian politics? I think is one the the Minister of Works is currently trending, if I'm correct. Okay, so if you want to know if that trend has a positive, negative, or neutral sentiment, you can quickly use Python for that. Okay, run a sentiment analysis. Okay, on the script data from the internet, and then you can tell what kind of you can summarize the post. I mean, you can summarize the trend. Okay, what's really going on? What are people saying? Are more people for against? All of that kind of stuff. So absolutely, like I said, in as much as the data exists, and many organizations now want to be able to make decisions based on data. What's the essence of data if you just keep it? It makes no sense. So you need a professional that knows how to turn that data into insights. Okay, so in as much as you can find data in that sector where you're going, don't worry, there is a job for you in that sector. So again, EX Concept, if you've not secured your spot, ensure to secure your spot. Send me a DM 0703 215 8619, and I hope I answered your question. I hope I answered your question, EX Concept. Did I miss any question? Did I miss any question? Did I miss any question? Okay, I doubt if I missed. So, for all of you who are here up until this point, I hope you learned one or two things, and I'll be awaiting your DMs if you've not sent a DM yet. But for those of you who have sent a DM already, like I said, don't panic. I am at the other end of my phone. I would respond to you once I drop off this call. Okay, 0703 215 8619. WhatsApp only, please. Okay, WhatsApp only. If you give me a phone call, you want to give me a nightmare. All right, because there'll be so many people calling if we go that route. So please, I'll be able to manage WhatsApp them because I'll be the one responding to you. Okay, firsthand. I'm giving you that exclusivity. Okay, specifically for those who secure their sports tonight. Okay, so in the absence of any other question, I think this is where we'll close the discounted slots. Okay, and we will close the session. Okay, so guys, have a wonderful night rest. I hope you learned something. And again, guys, like I said, whether you like it or not, in as much as you're above 18, you start paying tax next year. What are you preparing for yourself financially? How are you strategically preparing financially for the new reality of Nigeria come 2026? So I want you to sleep tonight and think about it. Is there anything you're currently doing? Okay, or you're just waiting for it to happen, and then you be you just be flowing anywhere the river takes you to. So you want to have some level of control, okay, over some of these things. And speaking about level of control, okay, that is exactly what you're seeing in front of the screen right now. So that is what you need to start thinking about. Okay, one more question. Somebody saying, sir, can one be a business analyst and a data analyst at the same time? And what are the odds to be effective? Look, like I said, okay, um, this is absolutely possible if you are very smart about it. And when I say if you are very smart, I don't mean if you are a genius in mathematics, or if you are a genius if you graduated a first class university. That's not what I mean by smart. Positioning is key. Platforms like Upwork, for example, allows you to have one account, and under that one account, you can have what we call double persona. You can have two different personas. One persona for data analyst, one persona for business analyst. Because the truth is, you actually have some data analytics skills that you can use to carry out some data analyst functions. So as a business analyst, you can't replace the data analyst, but you can do their job to a large extent. Okay, you can do it to a reasonable extent. Let me not say large, a reasonable extent. Okay, for organizations. So it all depends on the organization. There's some organizations that will need you to know only Power BI, and that's all they need. And because as a business analyst, you know Power BI, you can assume the role of a Power BI data analyst there. It's as simple as that. Okay, so it's going to be all about position. Is it possible? Yes. Is it possible to be effective? Yes. Okay. Especially with remote, in the remote setting these days, you be at your home, work for two different companies. All right. So with very good time management and professionalism, these things can happen for you. EX Concept register. Let's talk more about this. Okay. There are so many more information I'd love to share with you. Okay, so I'm expecting to see your DM latest tonight. Okay, so I know you are not just settled in for the class in November 8th, you're also going to be part of the people who will be taking in the exclusive website development, website portfolio development tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. Okay, so that is that about that. I think this is where we will be drawing the curtain, and I wish you a wonderful night's rest. And I really appreciate anybody who is still here. Okay, so once yeah, and if you look at the chat right now, you can also book a clarity session. So if you want to speak with me one-on-one, okay, you can book a clarity session, and we'll get to talk. We'll get to talk wherever it is you have selected. Okay, so you see either myself or other professionals would be available to answer your questions. So you can click on that link, book a clarity session, and let's talk more. So guys, cheers guys, and see you on the other side. Or see you on
Thank
the
you
other
very
side.
much. I really appreciate.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.